that gets involved.
I think this is a good time to spotlight our Lighthouse program, which is exceptional, as well as the Life Skills program, which I find to be amazing. It's my understanding, my belief that the children that require the most care or the most severe need to be sent out of district because we just can't accommodate them in district. I don't have any idea what that cost would be, but I would definitely
While campaigning, I not only talked to teachers and principals, but I've talked to parents as well, and I did happen to speak to a parent who is very involved in their special needs child and would like to keep that child here in district. I mean, just to have a child with special needs that has been surrounded by a small group of children that he or she has been friends with for a while, and then to have them reach a certain age and be shipped to a different district, I'm sure is pretty traumatic. Don't know what the cost would be. Obviously, that would be something that we would bring up to the business manager, but it's definitely something that we should take a look at. We should want to keep our children here, keep them close at home, and keep our community intact.
It was always the goal of the superintendent to bring children back in district. Sometimes we just don't have the facilities to bring children back. We did partner with the South Bergen Jointure to bring their program back in town to lessen our costs. But it is very expensive because you're talking about busing, bus aids, one-on-one aids. And I remember the cost being anywhere from $40,000 to over $80,000 a child. I was just, my head would spin when I saw these, the cost of doing this and thinking, how much we can get out of that money if we were able to keep our child in Lyndhurst.
The intent of this board, previous boards going back many years, is to keep as many children and students in the district as possible. So the question, the bottom line on the question is why are so many sent out of district? Well, I would hope to God that the answer is probably because it is appropriate to send them out of district because they are getting services that can be provided here. And that really is a decision. And knowing the teachers and the administrators and the guidance counselors, they make that decision and make the recommendation. And that's always been the intent. Keep them here if we can, so that they're in the town where they grew up and where their friends are. But if they have to go out of town, they will be placed out of town, and that varies over time also. That's not a steady number.
Thank you. Next question. If you are elected and you are granted by your other board members one thing that would pass outright, what would you do for the children of Lyndhurst? I will start with Mr. Gaccione. Sure. If you are elected and you are granted by your other board members one thing that would pass outright, what would you do for the children of Lyndhurst?
Besides for more money, I would probably, I don't know. I would probably just try to make it a safer environment, being that that's what I know. So probably try to look at that and see how we can actually make it safer for all our children.
If re-elected, the one thing to pass, it's definitely a hard question to answer. For just one thing, there's many things I want for the school district. Off the top of my head right now, adding to the curriculum, adding to the STEAM program, adding more programs to integrate the STEAM and STEM program into all aspects of the curriculum.
It's a really good question because I think I would ask the students,
especially the high school students. What do they want? What do they need? I would ask the kids, what would they feel that they need? My daughter would say air conditioning. But, you know, I would ask the kids, what do they want? What do they need? So it would be making them happy and their day go better.
Very difficult question, but as an adult, safety and security of the schools is my concern. Obviously, we addressed the failing buildings, state-of-the-art, a couple of state-of-the-art buildings. I would have to make to answer that question, I would have to be actually working in the district or with the district to make an informed decision.
It is a very difficult question. If elected, the one thing that I would do for the children of Lyndhurst is basically I would approach it the way I approach my own children. I want to protect my kids. I want to help my kids. I want to communicate with my kids. And I want to encourage my kids. And that's no different than what the teachers want to do with these children, the principals want to do with them. So as a board member, I would just make sure that all of that was done.
Everybody else said safety and security and just making an enjoyable experience for the children. When they come out that door into your arms with a big smile on their face, and you love what took place there that day in school, and just have a lot of friends and make it the best time of their life.
If I was granted one wish and things I could pass, I would wish that the other board members would promise to conduct the business of the public in public, to have a discussion among board members and let people know and hear the decision, pros, cons, and know exactly where board members vote on things. That would be my wish for everyone.
I would like to see an expansion in the curriculum to include more computer programming software and things of that nature to kind of move us into the next century, keep pace with technology, to keep pace with other countries, but build more.
Okay, this will be our last question, 4 minutes to 9. Why do you feel we as Lyndhurst residents should give you our vote? We'll start with Mrs. Jarvis.
Why do I feel as a Lyndhurst resident?
Should give you their vote.
One, because I'm a Lyndhurst resident. I have 3 children in this school district. I want nothing but the best for these children, for the staff. I want this district to thrive and succeed. I put a lot of heart into the past 6 years on the board, frustrating, a lot of time. And I really do want just what's the best for these kids.
As I said in my opening statement, I worked in the Board of Ed, I worked in an office. I know exactly what needs to be done. I would hope that my experience and my dedication over the last 25 years would come through. I know what questions to ask, I know what to look for. I know what state aid should look like, I know what the budget should look like. And I hope that you'll vote for me. Thank you.
I have shown that I care about the future of our children. My work with addiction has brought me into many living rooms, and those families will all tell you that I've worked tirelessly to help them. I have no hidden agenda. I believe in complete transparency. I will work to ensure our children and faculty have all the necessary tools to succeed.
Well, I'm a Lyndhurst resident, but I've only been a Lyndhurst resident for 8 years, so I don't owe anybody any favors. I don't want anybody any favors from anybody. I want to join this board to be a part of where our school system can go and what we can achieve once the referendum finally gets underway. I want to back the teachers who are doing a fantastic job right now, and I want to be a part of shaping the school system that me and my wife have decided to raise our children in, so that I can make sure that my kids, as well as everybody else's kids, are better prepared for life after high school.
If I'm elected again, I'm going to be doing what I've been doing for the last 2 times on the Board of Education. I'm just a simple person from Lyndhurst. I fight for the underdog. I listen to the person that sits up here in front of the microphone and has a problem, and I'm going to do whatever I can. Whatever your voice is, if it's reasonable, I'm going to try to carry it through for you. That's the best I can do.
My reason was simple. I have a history of service to the town, and I want to continue it. People who know me know that I will always answer their questions, even if it's the answer they don't want to hear. I will always tell them what goes into the process as much as we can. And I have a firm belief that part of the situation that we're in now is a result of not following policies, procedures, and processes the way they are intended. And those of you who have been around a while and know me that I'm a stickler for that, and I'll answer any question you have, and that's one of the reasons. My wife is here, and she's going to get mad because I say my phone number is listed, so people can call me and ask me any questions they want, and I'll answer them. Basically.
Aside from the obvious reasons, having kids in school, being a homeowner and a taxpayer, I truly believe to the core of myself that if elected, I could really make a difference. And, if I didn't believe that, I wouldn't be standing up here. So I really believe that I have the skill set, the drive, and the ability to make a difference.
Having gone through the district myself, the community of the district has given me the opportunities that I have today, and I feel like I need to return the favor for where my life is today because of them. I have two kids that are about to enter the Lyndhurst School District as well, and lastly, more specifically, I want to modernize everything that is our school district.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the question and answer portion of our program. Now we will begin the summations, and we will begin them in reverse order. So we'll start with Mr. Vendola.
I said I was going to save my interest at the end. Stephen Vendola, 62 years old. I've moved 2 blocks in my life, from Copeland to Concord. I'm committed to whatever I do. I have 4 children. I'm married 36 years. Worked at the same job for 44 years. I think I have 25 years in a row of perfect attendance. I'm there for the people of Lyndhurst. I'm not going anywhere. I'm coachable, and I'm number 3 on the ballot. I'm on the bottom. I'm not affiliated with anybody. And if anyone wants to help me, I help hand out stuff in my desk. And the last thing, I've had a Facebook account for 2 weeks, because they said, if you want to get elected now, you got to get a Facebook account. If it's send me something, I don't even know how to answer it back. I need one to get elected, they said. Thank you, everyone. I think everyone coming out. I know everybody's doing a good job here, but good luck, everybody.
Tonight we've heard from all the candidates come forth and relay their passion that they have to make our community better. I want to thank them for that. I also want to thank all of you guys for coming out and relaying that passion as well. I think it's important to remember that not one person alone is going to be able to make a difference themselves. This is why if I'm elected, I promise that I will go in with the intention to work with each and every board member While I realize we may not always agree on every issue, it's important to go in with an open mind and believe that we can all work together. I will make sure that our new business manager, Mr. Mizeski, has a cooperation of the board to make sure that our tax dollars are put to use effectively and efficiently. I will work to ensure that positions are given to people with the highest qualifications, not based on personal relationships. And I want to make this perfectly clear to the Board of Education employees who lost their jobs and were not brought back as a result of the deficit. I will fight for you. To the lunch aides, I will fight for you. To the woman who spoke at the Board of Education meeting that was visibly upset because she was not called back, you're somebody I'm going to fight for as well. I am fully aware of what I've gotten myself into, and I know that the decisions that I will make will directly affect myself and my family, the name that I carry, the name that I gave my wife, the name that my little girls will have until that day when I'm not looking forward to, where I have to walk them down the aisle and give them away. It's a name that I promise you all, I will never take this position for granted. I will never take your trust for granted. I will fight for what's right for our children, because what kind of a father would I be if I let my children down, and what kind of a man would I be if I let you all down? The Webster's definition of teamwork is a group of people working together for a common purpose. Our purpose is to make sure we continue to work for their students and continue to back our teachers and make sure that future generations of Lyndhurst residents have a school system that they can hang their hat on and be proud of. I'm Vinnie Tunnero. I'm number 2 on the ballot. You don't have to believe me. November 6th, let me prove it to you.
I want to congratulate everyone on making it through the night. I thank everyone for coming. I look forward to working with everyone up here. I think this is a group that, if they are not elected, they're still going to be around speaking and helping out. And this is it's a good group. We spoke about it earlier, and I'm happy to be running against all of them. I've made a career out of helping others, and I have shown in my work that I care. I care about the community that I live in. I care about the children. If elected, I will continue to work harmoniously with our superintendent, our faculty, and the community. I think it's important that we have complete transparency as a board, because we need to gain a mutual trust. We need a mutual trust between our superintendent, our faculty, and obviously the community. I'm very comfortable in my decision making, and I look forward to serving on the board.
I want to thank everyone again for coming out this evening and giving me the opportunity to address any concerns and any of your questions. This is a difficult time for Lyndhurst, and the public confidence is low. Once the monitor and the auditor have completed their assessments, we can only move forward. Lyndhurst schools have a bright future ahead, and with our new school will help us get there. I want to take this opportunity to thank the other candidates up here for putting forward their ideas. Win or lose, we should all continue with the same enthusiasm that we have here tonight. We should all work collaboratively together in restoring our school system. When voting on November 6th, please keep in mind the dedication and experience of the candidates that you have. Thank you.
So in closing, thank you again, everyone, for being here, the candidates for being here and being able to answer all the questions that are asked by the public. It's not an easy task to do. It's not an easy task to be on the board. But my main goal and focus and objective is to look for the future and always work better for the children, for ways to improve communication and transparency. We have many great things happening in this district that is being overshadowed by this deficit. We need to bring the focus back to the children and what their needs are for the future. This district, our teachers and all staff, especially our children, need this. I want to see our district thrive and succeed and overcome. I want to see the many great programs and ideas come to fruition. Education is always evolving and expanding, and I want to see our district evolve and expand successfully as well. So I ask everyone, please take this time to research your Board of Education candidates, every single one of them. Know them, know their character, know what they truly stand for, and make sure they have the same ideas for your children as I know I want for my children and all the children in this district. So please vote for number 5 and 7 for the Lyndhurst Board of Education, because in the end, Yes, you may say I'm just a mom, but I am a mom who cares and will always try to fight for what's right for these children.
I wanted to thank everyone for staying out so late. I'll be here after for anyone that actually has specific questions. And in closing, I want to make sure that we have smarter ways of communicating both to the public and getting information from the public. I want to see and make sure we secure the future of our children with a no one-size-fits-all type of education. I want to stay in sync with the town because there is a new building going up. And I want to create a safe environment, or I want to see a safe environment free of harm, harassment, and bullying. Because if we get the small things right, it'll give us a chance to actually attack the larger issues.
During my run in 2017 for the Board of Education, I made a statement that the public trust was severely compromised and it must be restored. I called for transparency and communication with parents, students, and taxpayers. I talked about board members holding each other accountable and demanding decisions be made with integrity. These ideas remain my focus today, and hopefully moving forward as a member of the Board of Education. As a community, we need to identify true leaders to fill these 3 open seats, leaders that will do what's right for the students. If elected, I will bring a new type of leadership that's desperately needed, the type that sees mistakes as opportunities, the type that takes blame when things go wrong, and gives credit to others when things go right. Come November 6th, I humbly ask you to give me a chance to make a difference by voting for me for the Lyndhurst Board of Education. I just want to thank the candidates, the monitors, and especially everybody who came out today for taking the time out to listen to all of us and all of our ideas. Thank you very much.
As a former board member, my family has questioned my motives and my sanity at times, but I'd like to want to do this again, considering especially since I am currently a board member in Bergen County Special Services. However, the reason I'm doing it is because I'm a Lyndhurst guy. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not using this as a stepping stone to another job, but I feel I have something to contribute. Despite what you hear nowadays, everybody says if somebody's been on the board before, we don't want them. You have to remember, experience does count. I've been around, I understand how this works and how it's supposed to work. And different than a lot of other people who seem to forget that this is a political position and politics used to be and should be the art of compromise. So I've always been willing to listen to what other people have to say and work together. Things I learned in Lyndhurst is being a student, athlete, student being the first word. The art of compromise and building a consensus. So that's the reason why I'm running. And the Board of Education should be representative of the township, not just parents, but people with students in the districts, people who are taxpayers, which I am, and have family here and roots here. But it should be representative, old, new, male, female, and everything in between. Thank you.
That concludes the candidates forum for this evening. I would like to thank the candidates for giving up their time this evening and coming out and addressing the residents of Lyndhurst. I would like to thank the audience for your attention and your courtesy to the Board of Ed candidates. And I'd like to commend the Roosevelt School PTA for sponsoring this forum. They provided a very valuable community service. Thank you.